Hey everybody, this is Johnny Cashflow. Welcome to the very first interview. What is this? This is the first in-studio interview.
I like to call it a fireside chat.
Man, he beat me to the punchline. With us, we've got our special guest here in my own home, aka the studio, aka my guest bedroom, is Bubblehead Bob. Bubblehead Bob, welcome. How are you doing, buddy?
What's up?
So, today for about an hour, we're going to entertain you. We're going to chat. We've had some great chats for the past about 4 hours.
4 hours plus 2 years.
Well, sure.
Yeah.
Sure. So we're gonna get into this interview while also having a few drinks. So this is gonna be fun, and we hope you guys enjoy it.
And drink responsibly, kids.
Or drink irresponsibly. Whatever. It doesn't matter to us.
Yeah, if you drink, don't drive.
All right. So first and foremost, Bubblehead Bob. Let's get into a little bit about you, so that way we can, the audience can know who you are, right? So tell us a little about you. Where did you grow up in?
So originally I'm from Southern California.
SoCal.
But
not as good as NorCal.
No, NorCal really is not really California, but
the People's Republic of.
Yes, but I'm not really from anywhere. My father was in the military, so we transferred quite a bit. Lived all over the country, so I'm from everywhere and nowhere.
Fair enough.
I call the Shenandoah Valley home now. Shenandoah Valley?
Of Virginia.
Virginia,
not
yes.
Pennsylvania, because in Pennsylvania there's a Shenandoah, and you don't want to be from there. Like,
no.
That is not a good place.
Well, you don't really want to be... anyway, yeah.
All right. So obviously I've had the pleasure, the absolute pleasure of knowing you for several years. We first met at my former job of NGIC, which is the National Ground Intelligence Center, where you worked.
Yep.
And we kind of we just kind of saw each other on the fly and said, hey.
Yeah, we met doing what I do best, and that's providing food service for
he's an amazing
fighters.
Cook. Amazing cook.
But a couple years, years
later,
after that, we both decided that we were done with that life, and decided to.
Well, I'm going back, but
yeah. Okay, I'm done with that life. I ain't about that life no more,
for
homie.
Shizzles.
Right. And then, then we met at our former institution.
Of PBCC.
Okay, I wasn't sure where.
I don't care.
With that. Okay, cool. Yeah.
I don't care.
So we met when we went back to school, and
community college.
We've worked very closely both as colleagues and really ideological opponents, and a lot of times,
You are my favorite person to disagree with, for sure.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
for sure.
It's respect. It's heated. I don't agree with a lot of what you do, but I do recognize
you don't agree with the truth, right?
Right. Okay. Yeah. You call your truth. I'll call my truth, and we'll just both call it fake news. And move on from here.
Yeah.
But, one of the things that I've always respected about you, and the only reason that I agreed to come, was that despite everything else, I 100% respect your sincerity.
Likewise.
And honesty and forth, the true belief that you and the way you live your life.
Yeah.
Because
Likewise.
Otherwise, I'm not going to argue with a wall. I'm not going to debate a wall.
Some people are really good at doing that.
Yeah, well, those people are also kind of
It reminds me of a Minor Threat song, "Screaming at a Wall." Anyways, okay, so I do have the pleasure of knowing you for a while. So being the first interview, being our first special guest, I want to have an interview style. So I'm going to ask you questions that I already know. So I kind of
well, you don't ask questions you don't know the answer to.
Right,
That's the way it goes.
Fair enough. So you were in the Navy.
Yep.
You joined the Navy. So tell us a little bit about what you did. Some of your experiences. Just kind of give us a general overview of that.
So yeah, as you can tell, well, as some of you can tell by my handle, I was a submarine sailor.
Bubblehead Bob.
Yep. Submariners called bubbleheads, and well, I like alliteration, so Bob, well, not my real name, seems to fit.
It does fit, right?
My father was also a submariner.
That's cool.
So, it's kind of the family business. It's what we do. I was on, let's see. I was on 4 different classes of submarines. My dad was on another 3, so we have been on every class of submarine that has been put in the water since about 1979.
Oh my God.
I have been stationed pretty much up and down the East Coast and in Europe.
How long were you in?
I was in for, not that I counted, but it was
exactly
14 years, 6 months, and 29 days.
Oh my God.
Until I was medically retired in 2011.
And so you are medically retired.
Medically retired, yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I'm all broken and busted up.
Well, and not to get too much into the details, but this is also a point where we kind of, I think we kind of bonded over is the issues with the VA.
Yeah.
Kind of keeping us drugged up.
Docile sheep. That's what they wanted, and. It's not that there's any, and I think you and I can agree on this. There's no one person to blame, but when they got overloaded, they dumped us up with a bunch of drugs and tried to keep us in line while they figured out what to do with us. And those of us that took that red pill,
right,
and decided that, you know what, screw this.
Yeah.
I'm not living that life anymore. I want the truth. I want what's going on, and I want to fix the problem.
I think one of the most scary things for me was meeting you, and you don't have to get into it all, but weren't you on like some 20-something different drugs?
20. So there was a morning in early 2014 where I woke up and I was taking so many medicines. I was taking 21 different medicines, and I was shaking them out into my hand and putting them into a cereal bowl.
Jeez.
Because just a regular cup wasn't big enough anymore. They had put me on medicines for PTSD, for depression, for anxiety, for sleeplessness, for pain, for this, for that. Right? And those were all just the original medicines. Then they were putting me on medicines for the side effects of those medicines, which in turn were giving me side effects. So they were giving me pills for side effects of the side effects.
Oh my God.
And I said, you know what? I'm a dad. At the time, I was a husband.
We'll get into that. Yeah.
And this is not how I want to live my life. This is not who I am. This is not where I come from. And it's got to be done. And I needed to make a change. And frankly, Johnny over here was really one of the prime, I don't know, motivators, right? One of the people that really kept me motivated on that track
thank you.
To get off of that.
I didn't know that. Well, thank you. This is the first I've heard of that. Thank you.
Well, shit, man. It's not like I'm going to tell you that. I don't want you to fucking give me a kiss or anything, faggot.
Well, we'll do that. We'll do that after the live cast.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, we'll make out after that.
My wife isn't coming home till later, so we'll couple beers in, and who knows what'll happen. So, no homo.
Yeah,
right?
no, totally. We won't look each other in the eye.
Well, not in the brown eye, but that's how you get diseases. So that's how you get pink eye. So all right. So you've got 3 kids.
Yep.
Amazing kids, actually.
Yeah, I think they're pretty awesome.
Your kids are really well adjusted, considering the fact that you've kind of gone through this difficulty.
Well, yeah, man. I mean, So, like we're talking, when I was on those pills, right? I mean, we're talking opiates, benzodiazepines. I mean, you name it, right? They had me on it. And when I woke up and realized that I was a junkie, that my kids were being raised by a junkie.
Yeah. Yeah, man, that's scary.
That was no good. And luckily my ex-wife, and it's unfortunate, and it is what it is, but I completely respect her for it. She made the decision that she had to make to protect our kids, and that has given me so much more respect for her.
Mr. XD fan, yes, I am fully known to kiss drugged up dudes.
Well, duh. I mean, really, what's a better time to kiss them?
You think I'm gonna kiss a sober dude? Hell no.
Gay.
Yeah, God. No, man, that's really cool. All right, so we've been talking and drinking for a few hours now. We've covered a lot. What do you think is one of the biggest issues facing? Hell, let's just get right into it. What do you think is the biggest issue facing America today? Let's just get right into that, because I have no idea what questions to ask right now. Let's get into it.
Biggest issue.
Yeah.
Man, if I could define the biggest issue, then I could write a policy or something like that to fix it. Right? Unfortunately, there is no single biggest problem. What if I had to say, you know what, if we could fix this, we could fix 85% of our problems. It's that we have become, as a society, and this is something that we were talking about earlier.
Right.
We as Americans agree with each other.
Russia.
Agree with each other on 85% of the shit.
Right.
85% of stuff. We agree with each other. We allow this 15% to polarize us so far that we refuse to actually talk to each other.
Yeah.
We refuse to talk to each other. And you know what, man? That's bullshit. Right? There's no policy that's going to fix that. There's no president that's going to fix that. There's no Congress that's going to fix that. There's no judiciary that's going to fix that. That is us reaching out to our neighbor and saying, yo, we don't agree with each other, but...
Well, as far as Russia is concerned...
It's all fake news.
It's just...
It's totally fake news.
It's all
It's all fake news.
That's all we gotta say about that. For sure.
Who is it? Dude, do we actually have a listener? Who's that? Mr. XD.
Yeah.
What's up? Dude,
Yeah.
There's actually a person there listening right now?
Dude, this is called marketing. This is what
Marketing?
happens. Yeah, this is what happens when you advertise to your friends and family that you're going to be giving a live cast. That every once in a while, one might stop by. And we greatly appreciate the one view.
Hey, Mr. XD, love you, man.
Yeah.
If you say Russia's the biggest problem, Brian, Johnny, Russia, that's the problem. We need to fix Russia. If we can fix Russia, all of us will get along again.
I think it's amazing how Russia has actually played a part in everything, because I still believe it. Like, I'm still of the mind of the Cold War. Like, I still have the mind of the Cold. Like, I still hate Russia.
I was raised by Cold War warriors, man.
But there are these like Trump supporters who like love who love Russia, like they're all like in support of Putin, and I'm just like, fuck Putin, man.
Okay, well, look, so I want to make the distinction again that we made earlier.
Yeah.
Right? You just said Trump supporter.
Right.
I
Yes.
think there is a very fine distinction here between a Trump voter and a Trump supporter.
Yeah. No, I agree.
And I think that's something that needs to be put out
Okay.
right away.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that.
When we say Trump supporter,
Right.
we do not mean somebody who voted for Trump.
Because I voted for Trump. I voted for Trump.
Yeah, and I hate you for it.
Yeah, that's why I'm so fucking awesome. But but also, like for me,
way to normalize misogyny, dick.
I know. Frankly, okay, you're not a nice person. Okay,
Yeah,
and frankly,
fake news. You're fake news.
Okay.
You're fake news.
But Yeah, being a Trump, so being a Trump voter, there's also, yeah, no, absolutely, it totally was a voting for the lesser of two evils. I mean, my guy, as you know, originally actually my guy was Austin Peterson of the Libertarian Party. Yeah. Then it was when obviously they have no chance.
Yeah. Let's be honest. That's because okay. I mean, let's face the facts. Let's face the facts. While being a small L libertarian is something that I applaud and something that I consider myself.
It's such a pipe dream.
As a governmental system, libertarianism is pants on head retarded. It just does not work in the 21st century.
You shut your filthy communist mouth. So then my second guy was Rand Paul. You know,
obviously.
Well, I mean, he's the closest guy to. But I like Ted Cruz. I know. Before Bubblehead Bob even gets into it, Bubblehead Bob does not like Ted Cruz's religious perspective.
It's not even the dude. Religion is like your dick. Okay, you have one. It's cool to be proud of it,
but it's kind of small.
But. Don't be waving around in public and keep it the fuck away from my children. Okay? So it's I don't care what your religion is. I don't care that Ted Cruz is an evangelical Christian. That does not bother me in the least.
I can get behind that, though.
Right? What bothers me is the dominionist beliefs, right? That truly the dominionists and
Rand Paul's awesome.
Look it up. Rand Paul, you know what? While
Mr. XD fan, Rand Paul is great.
You know.
All right, but
you know, yeah. So, right. You know what, Mr. XD, I totally dig what you're saying, man. I agree with you, right? But you know, the fact of the matter is, when you really look at Ted Cruz and dominionist kind of philosophy, right? They are not that different than kind of what the ISIS fundamentalism type says, that it's okay to lie, cheat, and steal to non-believers so that you may gain dominion over God, Earth, and all of that. And that is my problem with Ted Cruz, not his religion, but that dominionist belief.
Right.
And that's what bothers me.
And I totally agree, XD fan. Same thing with gay, lesbian, whatever. Like I don't give a shit, man. I believe that the government has no place. There's no place in the Constitution which says that I'm holding it right here.
Yeah, I see it. He really is. He's not lying.
I literally have the Constitution right here next to my desk at all times.
I have it in my car. I forgot to bring it in with me.
It's in my other pants pocket.
No, I have. You know we can walk down and grab it.
Fair enough. Is that there's no express power to give for the government to say what you can and can't do with your body. So and I talked about this with regards to the right to die in my last live
death
stream.
With dignity, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, no, I don't care. I mean, granted, at the same time, we were watching something the other night with my wife, and there were two guys like totally like cuddling and kissing and stuff, and I'm like, I don't want to see that, so I like walk away. Now the SJWs are gonna be like, oh well, you're homophobic. No, I just don't want to see it. Frankly,
at the end of the day, dude,
I just don't want to see it. I
don't want to see a guy and a girl canoodling. I don't care.
In public, I don't want to see that shit either.
If I want to see that, I will go onto the internet and I will watch porn.
You porn and Pornhub, or where you go to see that?
X-hamster, man. X-hamster. That's where it's at.
Yeah.
If I want to see, dude, if I want to see like midgets little people or whatever, and little horses, because I don't know if we can call them ponies. I don't know if that is.
But they gotta get stepping stools. They gotta get stools for that stuff.
I don't care. No. I don't care what you're into. I am totally not.
As long as it's not kids.
Yeah.
Can we at least? Because
the
SJWs are trying to push that now too.
What? Huh?
Oh yeah. Let's not get into that.
Well,
but yeah, they're trying to push pedophilia as being a gender or sexual orientation.
Well, no. See, okay. Here's it, right?
Are we gonna get into this?
We won't go too far into it. right?
Man, I gotta need more beer
But
for
I
this.
recognize it as a mental illness.
It's totally mental illness.
Totally recognize
yeah, I
it
can
as
see
a
that.
mental illness.
It is.
Right? As long as you don't
And castration
act on
is
it,
the cure.
hey,
No, I'm just playing.
you know, what, I don't have enough insight
fair
on.
enough. No, I've got an extreme opinion on that.
Yeah, I totally recognize that. Hey, man, you may be
Oh,
attracted
absolutely,
to this,
extra
but
fan.
if you act upon it, then at
No,
that point,
yeah,
and especially if it's
we can talk
my
about
kids,
that. Yeah, that's for sure. So let's get back real quick to Trump supporters, right? So here's an example, like of like a Trump support. The difference for me between a Trump supporter and me being a Trump voter is that people who would call themselves conservatives, right, or have now changed their opinions on certain things because Trump says so, right?
Correct.
So one of the longest running, I don't want to say tropes, but what's the, stanchion? What's the pillars? Is the word I'm looking for. A couple of drinks in. One of the longest pillars of Republican views and conservative views is free trade. It's always been right. Republicans have always argued free trade. Now here comes Donald Trump, who's arguing protectionist trade, fair trade, aka fair trade, right?
No, you're right. Protection. Call it what it is.
It's protectionism, right? And I'm completely against that, right? And that doesn't mean that I'm going to take up arms against Donald Trump and go and protest him, but it is a point where I'm going to say, no, I totally disagree with you on this. I voted for you, but I disagree with you on this.
And see, that is my problem with a Trump voter
They won't,
versus a Trump supporter.
They'll change their principles based on what Trump says.
Look, I'm sorry. I was raised, and then I had to live that life as a senior non-commissioned officer, as a senior NCO.
Yeah, you made it to like chief.
Senior chief.
Senior chief, yeah.
Right. I had to. My job was to hold my sailors and my seniors and my peers accountable for their actions. Accountable. And being able to say, you know what, Johnny? That goes against our core values.
Right.
That doesn't make me less of a good subordinate, right? A good, right? But as citizens of the United States,
absolutely,
it is our duty.
Right.
It is our duty.
We don't have to be blind in our
Exactly. We do not follow the leader. We follow the ideals of the United States of America.
In fact, I think we're better supporters. We're better voters, or whatever term you want to use, for holding him to our principles, whether they be conservative principles or liberal principles, classical liberal principles, respecting you. What little respect you deserve. Sorry.
Yeah, it's all right.
I couldn't help it.
It's all right.
I saw the shot, and I took it. I took it. And
I saw no danger.
The most heterosexual movie of all times.
Absolutely.
Top Gun. Did you know they're making a Top Gun 2? Did you hear that?
It's probably gonna be a chick flick.
Well, was the first one was totally a bro flick.
Yeah, whatever.
It was the most heterosexual movie of all times, it's my favorite movie of
Jets and Navy. Hello,
I know.
Pilots and sailors. What could be more heterosexual than that?
I don't know.
Wait a minute.
All you need is a police officer, an Indian, a construction worker.
Hey, Native American.
Oh, I'm sorry.
All right.
A Native American.
Thank you.
Not to be confused with a savage, because those are different things.
Yeah, absolutely. Those are called conservatives.
Oh. Bubblehead Bob, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all for tuning in. We're still going. Want to take this time out to thank you. And so now we are going to shift, because I don't know where else we're going to go from this. So this was kind of the thing, was having him on. Redskin. That's a good football team. They should keep their name. That's really good. Okay. Let's go with that.
All right.
Fucking A. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. We're going with Redskins.
Okay. So how is it that the Redskins are offensive. That's an offensive name, right?
Yeah.
Cultural appropriation. In fact, one of the person that I like to follow, Steven Crowder, Louder with Crowder, declares June as Cultural Appropriation Month. So this is a good segue.
Cool,
Thank you, Mr. XT fans. See, relying on our fans to help us out with this. So how is that considered like cultural appropriation or offensive? But like the Celtics or the Fighting Irish, like how are those not?
Okay, well,
explain this to me in your liberal.
Yeah. Well,
liberal
that's cool.
For the record, I know that you're not an SJW, but you live in the realm, man.
Yeah, I do.
I am a Mug Club member, and I highly recommend it.
Well, I will. First off, let me say this. I am probably one of the most despised groups politically of any of them. I am a centrist.
Oh my god.
Right? I am a centrist. I am dead center. I am neither liberal.
I want to see your test. I want to see you do a test because we'll post that the next time you come to visit.
And the reality,
I want to see it.
Yeah. So my kind of litmus test, like we were talking about earlier, is that about half of my views piss off my liberal friends who call me a Tea Party conservative.
How can you
right?
be?
But when I talk to my conservative friends, they call me some.
You're a hippie liberal. As far as I'm concerned, you are
some
a hippie.
tree hugging,
you are
dirt loving, like I don't know, long haired hippie liberal.
I don't bring up dirt because I'll be afraid of being called racist for that.
Okay.
He's a little tan. Okay, so just putting that one out there.
Okay, I'm a lot tan. I have some sun bronze skin. I am from Southern California.
He's a little tan.
My last name may have ended originally in a certain syllable that sounds very, I don't know, brown. And I love landscaping. So, take that for what it is.
For below minimum wage, right?
For below minimum wage, yeah. And I worked as a cook for a long time.
That's a good question. Did you vote for Hillary Benghazi Clinton?
Oh, my God. Mr. XD, you totally lost me as a fan. That is the most... that is the most ridiculous question.
Hold on.
But anyway,
Mr. XD.
Yes, I did, Mr. XD.
Oh, man.
I voted for Secretary Clinton because, in my
Secretary
opinion,
of Hate.
Just like yours, I voted for the lesser of two evils.
Oh my God.
Okay, I voted for the one that was actually competent to hold the office. As the last 4 months have shown us. Competence is a core requirement of the job, and frankly, Mr. Trump is incompetent, and so is his staff.
Oh my God!
While I may not agree with her policy,
what?
You know what, man? I'm just lying, dude. I totally voted for Secretary Clinton. I did. It was a very difficult decision for me. I will tell you now that back in 2015 or so, when she announced her run,
in 2016, you actually supported Trump to me when we were talking.
Yeah, and I did. Initially, I did. I'll tell you now. One of my
fake news. It's fake news.
Okay.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
But no. One of the things that I truly believe in is that we need a free marketplace of ideas and ideology, okay?
Okay.
So while yes, I am a registered Democrat, I am a self-avowed liberal, I am all
hippie.
of those things. I am a hippie, I am a tree hugger, a dirt worshiper, whatever you want to call it.
I don't know if you should go with a dirt worshiper.
No, I totally like it, man. Tree hugging dirt worshiper.
I've never heard of dirt worshiper.
Tree hugging dirt. Dude, I don't think you understand how much time I spend on making sure that my dirt is perfect for my plants.
Yeah, but
you don't understand. Dude, don't start talking to me about soil pH, acidity.
Right.
Amending it, vermiculite, perlite. right? I am a dirt worshiper.
That doesn't equate to you being a hippie, though.
Okay, I am a dirt worshiper. I will tell you that now. But anyway, it
sounds kind of racist to me.
That's the problem, man. When you're a racist, all you see is
We'll
race.
talk about gun rights here in 2 seconds, buddy. Promise. Because this is actually an area where we kind of agree, actually.
Yeah. So for me, I had really hoped that Trump would bring something kind of new and fresh ideas and all of that. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, what I saw from Trump is that he didn't bring out, and the same thing with Secretary Clinton. I am not saying
to get you on that one, man.
No, I am not saying that Secretary Clinton was any better.
That establishment.
But what
super establishment.
What I saw was that President Trump was bringing out the worst parts of America, right? We do, and Johnny and I will disagree on this. We do have significant race problems in the United States, right? Now, here's where
caused by Obama and the leftist SJW.
All right, see, I'm going to ignore this. I am going to choose to ignore this because I will agree with you. I will agree with you that some of the race issues that we have were 100% exacerbated by the Obama administration.
Well, thank you.
I will completely grant that to you. And I will grant that the Democrats in general and liberals very, very broadly have kind of doubled down on that identity politics of race and poverty and all of these things and made it a niche issue instead of, hey man, being poor is bad, or not, you're a bad person if you're poor, but being you don't want to be poor. Nobody wants to be poor.
Being poor should not be comfortable.
Yeah, but instead of using that to say, hey man, we're all Americans, let's all lift each other up, instead we had a race to the bottom.
Yeah, we did.
We had a race to the bottom, which in economics is great.
By how much, all that. Yeah.
In economics, a race to the bottom is great. However, in social policy, race to the bottom, not so much.
Yeah. Fair enough.
And that was exacerbated in part by the Obama administration and their policies. Yeah. Well, like I said, I am an Obama voter. I am not an Obama supporter.
That's a crazy. I can't imagine being a Obama voter.
And that's cool.
Can't even imagine.
I can't imagine voting for Mitt Romney. Like to me, that is unfathomable, right? A dude believes that he's gonna inherit his own frickin' planet, right? When he dies, this guy believes he is a demigod. Right? That to me, that is like
I don't know. I don't know where you're getting.
And his policy
I don't know where you're getting.
is wrapped around that.
Okay, so
and the destruction of small town America, and then to call yourself conservative? Are you fucking kidding me?
I don't know about all that.
Yeah,
but
anyway.
Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, guns rights. Okay, right? Is that what it was?
Yeah, guns rights.
Right, as this is year 4 or 5 months into presidency.
Same XD fan. Looking back now, I'm really upset that I voted for McCain, but really it came down to McCain or Obama, and I'm like, well, fuck. That's the situation I was in.
Right,
McCain is such a rhino. It's just I can't stand him.
Yeah.
But I respect the man as a veteran. Hey man, hey dude, you were in a Vietnam camp.
You know
Holy
what?
shit!
You know what? And that is actually
but bro,
now, I'm glad you brought that
policies,
up. I'm
man.
glad you brought McCain up because that is where Trump 100% lost my support. That is where Trump lost my support is when he disparaged John McCain's.
Yeah, no,
right. That is where I went.
No, that was
where I
you're
stepped
right.
back and went, holy hell. There is no way.
No, that's a good point, man. That was bullshit.
Right? And I'm sorry, I can't support that. Because I don't care what your politics are. I don't care whether you believe the Vietnam War was justified or not. This was a man who went into the military service, dedicated, and ended up in the Hanoi Hilton.
Yeah.
Right? For 7 years and lived by that code of conduct.
Yeah.
Rhino, Republican,
whatever
you want to call
matter.
Him, the man
deserves
put in the time and deserves the respect for that.
Yeah.
Now,
no, that's a good point.
I don't like his politics, but you don't...
He's too much of a neocon
Mr.
for me,
Draft Dodger,
but I
not get to talk about his service.
I respect the hell out of his service. Yeah, no, that's a great point. That's a great point. So gun rights is an area that we mostly agree on.
Yeah, we do.
I think there's some nuance that we may disagree on.
There is, and I don't.
Give us your spiel. Let's
okay, so the Second Amendment is pretty damn clear. It is pretty damn clear in its writing that the right to bear arms shall not be infringed. Mostly what, Mr. XD? Hook a brother up, because I'm fairly new at this, man. I'm not exactly sure what you're asking here. But the Constitution is pretty clear on that. That's our founding document. That's what gives us the foundation for what we do. I don't know how the founders could ever imagine something like a Mark 203, right? How the founders could imagine something like an M4 and saying that, how do we mostly agree with each other? In that, the right to bear arms is a uniquely American thing, and that our founding document was so clear on this that it was the second point that it made.
Right. And the first one was, and it's only second because it protects the first.
Yeah. Right.
Which is like one of the most important rights, as we see, now with Canada's Bill C-16. We see constantly, these detractors, these what's the word I'm looking for? Of not First Amendment, but free speech being destroyed in Germany, in Pakistan. There was just the guy who was sentenced to death for posting on Facebook, and Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg.
Was it Facebook or Twitter?
It was Facebook. Mark Zuckerberg, just a couple months ago, was asked by the Pakistan government. I think it was in April. You can fact check me, whatever. But a couple months ago, was asked by the Pakistani government to crack down on blasphemy on the network, and they sent a team there to go and try and I don't know what came out of that, but now fast forward and all of a sudden there's a guy who's getting put to death, sentenced to death for blasphemy in Pakistan. Yeah. So I think more than almost at any other time in America, I think the First Amendment is under assault and is like the pinnacle of importance of the day. I think that this is one of the most important things to talk about today.
And I think you're absolutely right. I think the Second Amendment definitely protects the First Amendment, right? Yet
there's a little bit of a delay. Don't worry about it, buddy.
Yeah. Yet at the same time, you end up with and I really. First off, I want to make this extremely, extremely clear. I do not want to politicize what happened the other morning at the congressional baseball practice.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay? I don't want to politicize that. I want to simply...
It can easily be.
I want to simply use that as an example.
Okay.
The Second Amendment is there to prevent or to allow citizens, the people that own this country, to fight against government tyranny. Now, on one side of the fence, you have people that are saying that guy, that person who opened fire on our free and democratically elected officials felt that they were becoming tyrants and therefore targets, right? And again, I want to make this very, very clear.
Fair enough.
I do not agree with that.
I haven't heard this.
Yeah.
So this is the first time. For the viewers, I was making a face because Bubblehead Bob was reacting to, because I haven't heard this before, but I've been kind of staying out of it because I don't want to hear the politicization of it in the media.
Yeah,
so.
and that's something I want to be very, very careful about. That I do not want. The fact of the matter is, those gentlemen were democratically and freely elected officials.
Yeah.
While I may not agree with their politics, I do not believe in any way, shape, or form that they are tyrants. Okay? But there is a certain segment of our society that feels that no, that was that guy's Second Amendment right to do that. True. To take up arms against a government that was tyrannical. Now, if you're on the right side, you go, oh, that's ridiculous. Right? It's the left that is trying to be tyrannical and shut down our free speech. And I'm not saying I disagree with you, Johnny, but right? Okay,
he sees me about to say something.
No. I am being very purposeful. And,
I'm letting you say the whole argument. I'm trying to let you say the whole argument.
No. And I just right. So there is that certain.
No, they do not, XD fan. No, that a majority of our society have never seen. What true tyranny looks like.
Okay, Johnny and I, and from what I understand, we have seen tyranny. We understand, and we have an understanding of what tyranny and what oppression truly looks like.
Yeah.
And while we may disagree with each other, this ain't it. This ain't it.
No.
And it really hurts my heart to kind of see what this has turned into, because at the end of the day, every one of these guys, everybody around here, I don't know them, but goddamn, man, they're my people. We come from different places. We believe different things.
You're talking about veterans.
Not just veterans, but God, we are all Americans. We are all right. God damn, man, and that I mean, it hurts my heart that it has devolved. This argument has devolved so far that people can justify that there are Americans today that can justify a lunatic going out onto a baseball field and shooting our elected officials. Yeah. What the fuck? Yeah. What in the actual fuck is going on right now?
I was a very, very ardent I don't want to say supporter. You usually hear ardent supporter. What's the opposite of that? Ardent detractor, opposer of Obama. I could not stand him. I could not stand his policies. But never in my entire life.
Says the man with the big black case sitting next to his computer. It's ginormous.
It's a good case.
Yeah, it's a big black one.
It's anyways, so that was a bad segue. But anyway,
horrible. I'm not good at radio.
No, that wasn't good. He's trying to make a compensation joke about my computer tower being very big and black.
Huge.
And compensating for something, and really it's just compensating for my small dick. But I don't really understand what he's getting at besides that. But very much against Obama, but never in my or Barbara Boxer, freaking Pelosi, Clinton.
What's her name? The prosecutor.
Pocahontas.
No, not okay. I like Elizabeth Warren, but the Pocahontas thing was kind of jacked.
Yeah,
but
it was good. It was good. So, but never in my entire life would I ever wish harm upon them. I would never say, oh, I hope they get harmed. I don't want them to be injured. Yeah. I just want them to be voted out. Like,
exactly.
I just want them,
you know what? And that's something I was trying to say earlier. is, frankly, and I was telling
Agreed, XD fan.
Telling Johnny earlier, is that I am not only a self-avowed liberal, and until like a week ago, a registered Democrat.
He just registered for Republican.
I registered as a Republican so that I could vote in the primary here
and screw over the primary. No.
and vote for a Republican for lieutenant governor, because I believe that the Republican, the person that I voted for. Am I allowed to say who I voted for? Right? I don't know what the rules are here.
There's no rules.
I voted for Jill Vogel. I truly believe that.
So why did you? Because obviously our viewers don't know who Jill Vogel.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
I live in Virginia. I don't know who Jill Vogel is.
So Jill Vogel.
Apparently, she's a Republican. So.
Jill Vogel is the House of Delegates representative from the Winchester area.
Okay.
Okay. She is a Republican delegate. Is and always has been a strong supporter of post-secondary education. She has been a strong supporter of local small business and economic development in our cities and our towns.
Things I can get behind.
And truly making Virginia
great again.
Fuck you. But yes, okay, call it what you will, right? Jill Vogel, whom I know personally through some of the fellowships and stuff. She has been a strong supporter of supporting me through my post-secondary education,
which you've done very well in.
Whatevs.
Yeah.
But I've spent quite a bit of time with her.
Okay.
And I truly believe in what her vision is, and I think she could bring amazing things to the table.
It's not for free college, is it?
No.
Because that was the other chick, right?
No, completely different person. Because, all right, I'm gonna say this really loud.
A liberal's about to say this.
I am gonna say
Watch
this
out.
as a liberal, as a Democrat.
This is crazy.
Right? It's crazy.
Hold on to your pants.
Community college.
Ready for this?
Is already free for those that need free education. But guess what? There is a trick to this, right? I'm going to tell you now. Financial aid counselors everywhere hate me because of this one simple trick.
It sounds like one of those ads. Like,
put in the work. Right? You put in the work, and community college is free.
You never even used your GI Bill in community
college.
I
did not. I did not use my GI Bill. I used my Pell Grant. I used scholarships. I used private foundations.
Yeah.
I put in the work to pay for my school.
You got more scholarships and grants than anybody else I've ever known. Like you were always working.
So at the end of the day, right, and not to diverge here or what have you, but the total cost of attendance at a Virginia community college is $14,600 a year. Okay, that is the total cost of attendance. Okay, that's books, tuition, fees, and commuting costs. Okay, in 2 years, or actually not even a full 2 years, right? We're talking three semesters. Because disclaimer, I did use my GI Bill for my first semester.
Oh, okay.
For my first semester, I used it. Because I didn't know anything about college. I didn't know how it worked.
You became really smart on it. You were the guy to go to. Yeah.
Why did I become smart on it? Because it affected my life.
Yeah.
I developed a plan. I knew what I needed to do, and I decided to move forward. Community college is already free if you are willing to put in the work.
But the voters don't know that and are going to vote for.
It's a great fucking talking point for somebody like Bernie Sanders. Yeah. It's a great fucking talking point for these liberals to get up there and fucking talk about education should be free. No. Right? You sound stupid. Okay? It sounds great, but it's not based in reality. Just like on the conservative side, this whole pulling yourself up by the bootstraps, right? That don't work either. Okay? There has to be a mix of the two, right? And you and I, we may disagree on whatever, but
we'll get into the things that we disagree with next time.
Frequently, yeah. But it's already free.
So to address XD fans.
Yeah, sorry.
No, it was great. It was great. I'll give a round of applause.
Hey,
yeah, it was good rant. Is that I totally agree that about civil debate. So for the listeners who can't see the text, XD fan in the chat talked about being able to have civil debate. So I've been reading Saul Alinsky's Rules for Radicals, and in it, Saul Alinsky, who is a total leftist, like this was in 1971. I highly recommend everybody reading it to understand, and to my friends, no offense to my friends here who I would describe as a classic liberal or classical liberal. This is the leftist ideology is to make everything personal. So if you notice in the last election cycle, on both sides, fair enough, right? But what I noticed was
your fake news.
Yeah, well, is that it was all personal attacks, and that's what Saul Alinsky talked about. And I think that I would even argue that Donald Trump even has learned how to master this tactic. It works, and it's horrible. Is that we've lost the ability to debate. We've lost the ability to debate logically, and we have instead gone towards just total ad hominems and strawmen. If I had $1 for every time somebody strawmanned me on a discussion point on both sides, whether they were a Trump supporter talking about what's the
whatever ridiculousness,
whatever, or somebody from the Clinton side, it was just nonstop. Nobody could actually debate me on the topics. Instead, it was, you're just a dumb conservative, or you're
libtard, or snowflake,
whatever.
or whatever. And you know what? That is not to say that Johnny and I have not got in debates that were so heated that we called each other names and walked away from each other.
One side of us called each other names more than the other.
He's a liar. You like how I threw that in there?
I saw it coming.
Okay, but at the end of the day, right? We respect the shit out of each other.
Fan, they don't have facts.
Don't.
Yeah.
All right, XD. I'm gonna let that slide, homie. All right. All right. I'm not gonna say anything about reality having a liberal bias, but
let's just clarify real quick. Is that I think that if you are the term liberal has become synonymous with progressivism, which now Dave Rubin refers to as regressive liberals, right? Right.
Well, so at the end of the day,
classical liberalism uses the syncretic method of logic to be able to be able to work itself out. But so I would consider myself a classical liberal because I'm open to new environment. Oh, you're breaking my computer. Wait, stop.
Dude, it's not my fault.
Stop.
I'm trying to stop.
You're breaking my computer.
Dude, if your computer wasn't so huge, it wouldn't be an issue.
It's a good size. So,
it fits just right.
Yeah. I never had any complaints besides you.
Yeah.
But yeah. So so I think that they're when we're trying to be fair, like obviously I'll call somebody a libtard because they're a libtard, but I think that when I'm actually trying to debate and be fair, I would say that I can relate more to a classical liberal like Dave Rubin than like a progressive liberal or
no, and I get that.
An SJW or whatever.
Yeah,
right?
and the reality is, in a lot of ways, I kind of consider myself.
I agree, XD fan.
progressive. Okay, in that
That's why you're
the
wrong.
way that I
sorry.
view progressivism.
Right. FDR
Is that-
progressivism.
No, not really. Right? I mean,
Sorry,
ultimately,
go ahead. Explain yourself. Sorry.
My idea on that is how do we make it better? Okay, how do we make things better? That is called progress. Now,
By keeping the government out of my personal life.
You know, and truly, I would agree with that.
Okay.
I really, really would. On a micro level interaction, I completely agree that keep the government out of my business is the way for it to be done.
Hasn't
On
that
a
always been
macro level,
always been the liberal mentality though, right? Right?
Yeah.
It's whether it's
the government provides for the general welfare, and your individual welfare is on your ability. Your ability and your work ethic. Okay? And you know what? Sometimes hard work just ain't enough. Sometimes it's just not. Right?
that's gonna be a talk for next time.
Well, no,
but
you
yeah.
look at me. Would
Yeah.
you say I'm a hard-working dude?
Absolutely.
Okay. Would you say that I bust my hump to
Yes.
provide for my family?
Yes.
You know what, man? I make $22,000 a year, and
So-
I spend 11,000 of that in child support.
Well,
I bust my ass.
So I don't want to get too personal.
Yeah.
All right, because I'm not trying to take shots at one of my best friends. But to be fair, also though, but you also have 3 kids. Which this goes back to the video that I did today about individualism versus collectivism. Can I survive without government assistance? But even government assistance is taxpayers. And that's a whole other discussion. We'll get into that next time.
Yeah, oh, definitely. Yo, XD, man, I'm loving your questions. I mean, for reals, you're making me think, and I appreciate that. I know we only have about 2 minutes left.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
Right? I know we only have about 2 minutes left. I appreciate it, and I'm telling you what, I really want to come back and do this and have a more structured format.
Yeah,
maybe,
yeah. No, that sounds good. So we'll end it here. To XD fan, thank you very much for
stimulating the conversation.
Hey man, it's nice having a viewer. I also for the record, I want to say. I want to give a big shout out to all of my subscribers. Okay,
26 of them.
I got 26 subscribers
26!
now. All right, this is a huge milestone for me. So for those of you who haven't been around since the beginning, okay, my goal from the beginning was to have more subscribers initially, to have more subscribers than Johnny Cashflow, the horrible rapper. If you go into
horrible, oh my god,
if you go into YouTube, no, he's bad. He's really bad.
Yeah.
He's really bad. If you go into YouTube and you do a search for Johnny Cashflow, there's a rapper called Johnny Cashflow, and he's got 24 subscribers. All right, so my goal was to have more subscribers than that guy. Right, that was my only goal. Yeah. So now I have 26 subscribers. I want to say thank you to everybody. Thank you very much. Thank you very much to everybody for liking, subscribing, checking out the channel, for sharing and everything. Bubblehead Bob, I appreciate you coming on. All right, first in studio interview. I think it went very well. Yeah. I think we had a great time, and we'll have him on again for sure. I think this will be a good.
I'm about this, man. This was really fun for me too.
Okay, so we'll make this more of a thing in the future for sure. Going forward, it was great, and
well, as long as we're not exclusive, because I still kind of want to see other people.
Well, I have to see my wife after this, so there's at least that.
Cool.
All right, so thanks everybody. Take care and have a good night. Cheers.